Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're cutting through all the hype to give you a really honest look at Hostinger. Our goal? To help you figure out if it's the right choice for your website in 2026. All right, let's get into it. But first, let me just ask you this. Is your current web host a total headache? Come on, if you've ever tried to get a website off the ground, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, the painfully slow speeds that make your visitors just give up, the random downtime that makes you look bad. And oh, yeah, that renewal bill that suddenly triple the price you signed up for. Throw in a control panel that feels like you need a pilot's license to operate, and support that's, well, not very supportive, and it's a recipe for disaster. That's the frustration Hostinger is trying to fix. So let's properly dig into Hostinger. This is a company that has really staked its entire reputation on three things: being affordable, being fast, and being super simple to use. So, what is Hostinger exactly? Well, they're one of the biggest players in the game, hosting millions of websites all over the world. Their whole strategy is built around giving you a really low price to get started, but without sacrificing the speed and performance you actually need, and making it easy enough for a total beginner to get going. And this is so important to understand. Hostinger isn't for everybody, and they don't pretend to be. They are laser focused on a specific group of people. So if you're a beginner launching your very first site, a blogger, a small business owner, or maybe a WordPress user who needs great performance, but you're on a tight budget, you're exactly who they had in mind. Now, look, any company can say they're fast and reliable. Big promises are easy to make, right? So now we're going to look at the actual numbers from real world tests to see if Hostinger really walks the walk. Okay, let's kick things off with reliability, which we measure with uptime. This number tells you how often your website is actually online and available for people to see. In a live test that ran for 6 months, Hostinger hit an average uptime of 99.98%. That is incredibly solid. It means your site is almost never down, and it's even better than the 99.9% they actually guarantee. And here's where things get really interesting: speed. In the same test, Hostinger's average load time was just 0.72 seconds. Now look at the competition. GoDaddy came in at 1.5 seconds and Bluehost at 1.2. We're talking about Hostinger being nearly twice as fast, and you're often paying less for it. That's a huge deal. So, what's the secret sauce here? How are they so fast? A huge part of the answer is that they use Lightspeed web servers. This is just newer, more modern technology that's way more efficient than the older Apache servers that a lot of other budget friendly hosts are still using. It's a real performance advantage. But amazing performance doesn't mean much if it's impossible to use, right? And that's the other half of the story: simplicity. I mean, just check out this quote from a 2025 CNET review. They called it the most intuitive site creation process I've encountered. Coming from a major tech authority like CNET, that's saying something. And that ease of use really comes from their custom built control panel, which they call hPanel. A lot of other hosts use the old school cPanel, which can honestly be a little cluttered and overwhelming for new users. hPanel, on the other hand, was designed from the ground up to be clean, modern, and just intuitive. Everything is right where you'd expect it to be. Okay, so far this all sounds pretty amazing, but let's be real, no review is honest if it doesn't talk about the downsides. To really earn your trust, we have to be totally transparent about the things that might not be so great. Because the truth is, no web host is perfect. Every single one has trade offs, and it's way better to know what they are before you sign up. So let's lay it all out. On the plus side, you've got that amazing performance for the price, a super low starting cost, that beginner friendly H panel, and really solid security features. But there are two main drawbacks that pop up again and again. First, the renewal prices are much higher than that awesome intro deal you sign up for. And second, there's no phone support. If you need help, you have to use their live chat. So that brings us to the $1 million question, doesn't it? We have to weigh those pros against the cons to figure out if Hostinger is really, truly the right choice for you and your project. Let's just address the elephant in the room. With those renewal prices jumping up and no one to call on the phone when you're stuck, is this deal still as good as it sounds on the surface? For the right person, the answer is a confident and absolute yes. The value you get for your money is just undeniable. It all comes down to what's most important to you. So here's the bottom line: the good stuff outweighs the bad stuff. If you're the kind of person who values a dead simple setup more than having a phone number to call for support. If you're a small business or a blogger and your top priorities are speed and low startup costs, this is a fantastic choice. And if you're comfortable using a really good knowledge base and a quick live chat for help, then those drawbacks really aren't a big deal at all. All right, let's wrap this all up and get to our final verdict and our official recommendation for 2026. And you don't have to just take my word for it. After all their testing, CNET gave Hostinger their prestigious Editor's Choice Award for the best value web host. What that tells you is that for the money you spend, the combination of speed, features, and user friendliness you get is one of the best deals you're going to find anywhere. So, if you've listened to all this and decided that Hostinger is the right move for you, your next steps are really simple. I've dropped a link for you right in the description below this explainer. That'll take you straight to the best discount they have available. Just click that, and you can get started on your project knowing you've made a really smart, well-informed decision. Which really only leaves one last question. What amazing project are you going to launch first? I'd love to hear about it. So drop a comment below and let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.